Next question. Should the Bears give up an asset for a pass rusher before the season starts, or run with what we got and to see what hits the wall?
Oh,
Now,
that's a layered question because
it's very
when you
layered.
say asset, what are we talking? If we're
Yeah.
talking, and what are we looking to get? Because there's nothing as far as in the league right now, unless you're bringing me Garrett, T.J. Watt, Micah Parsons. I'm not really interested in betting my future assets on the defensive end. I know Trey Hendrickson. He hasn't signed with Cincinnati yet, has he?
I haven't heard that he has.
Okay, he's a name I've heard bountied about. I'm not giving up a first for Trey. I'm not in love with Trey Henderson enough to give up a first.
Isn't he a two-time All Pro?
I don't know if he's ever been named All Pro. I think he's been to the Pro Bowl. Henderson's a streaky pass rusher. He gets them in bunches. In all fairness, a lot of pass rushers do. But I wouldn't. What is Henderson? 28? 29?
No, I think he's in his 30s. I think he's just turned 30, something like that.
No, I'm not. If we're talking about a Trey Henderson, I'm not giving up a first for Trey. And then he wants a new contract on top of that. I think you gambled with Montez Sweat, and thus far it came up roses. I would not gamble again like that. No, I would not.
I'm gonna look at it like this. So I want to put bookends around what assets we're talking about, right? Again, this season we're not expecting the Bears to make the Super Bowl. We're not expecting them to make a playoff run or anything like that. You just get there. We got to win, but we ain't got to do that type of winning. We ain't got to go all in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking first round picks off the table. We still have a future second from Carolina that we can dangle out there. And we obviously have all our picks for, the next 2 seasons, something like that. So there's enough out there. A second round pick, a third round pick, those would be something that I will be interested in doing. Khalil Herbert, we talked about earlier. He might be on his way out the door. Somebody might say, "Hey, I need a young running back. Check it out."
Yeah, I think Khalil would definitely have value.
With that being said, Max Crosby is in his last year of his deal. He's a 27-year-old.
Max would be a guy that I would give up assets for. Max is a little bit more explosive and dynamic than Trey Hendricks.
Mm-hmm.
What did Brian Burns go for?
Brian Burns, he got the bag.
I could imagine Crosby would, whatever negotiations you start with, Crosby would start off whatever Burns got, and he'd probably get paid more.
Mm-hmm. Brian Burns signed a 5-year extension, $141 million. $35 million signing bonus.
Imagine Crosby's going to be looking for north of $150 million, and he based on the Brian Burns contract, he deserves it. Crosby would be a guy I'd be willing to give up assets for, even a first-round pick. I'd be okay with giving that up for Crosby if that's the player in question and he's available. Yes, Crosby is worth it. The other names we've seen bandied about, I wouldn't roll the dice on Hendricks if you're talking a third, maybe a second. We got 2 seconds next year, right?
Yes.
That's tough. I don't think I'm doing it for Hendricks.
What about Javon Hargrave?
Where is he at now? Is he in San Fran or Philly?
He's still in San Francisco. He's a little older than Max Crosby. In fact, not even say little. He's
I couldn't
3
remember
years older than Max Crosby. I think he's 31 already. Yeah, he's still in San Francisco. He's got, again, he's on the last year of his deal.
Okay.
And as we said a few times this offseason, the way that Ryan Pace is moving out here in these free agent streets, he's making moves as if this is a push push most of the chips in because we got to make the playoffs. This would be that would be a move that you would make. You know what I'm
Hargrave
saying?
would be up our alley, and he probably
Right.
would be affordable. But San Francisco's also in a win now mode. They're definitely in win now mode. So I don't know if they're going to value future assets really for their players. They still got the Brandon Ayuk thing going. Although they did part ways with Eric Armstead, and they had Cal Juszczyk. He took a pay cut. I'm not sure San Francisco's really pressed to get rid of frontline talent for a future asset right now. But Hargrave, I think that would be right up our alleys. I think he's a guy that can go for a third or fourth round pick. I think you can get him for cheaper. He's 31.
Yep.
I think you could. Now him, I would consider a fourth or a third for him.
We traded a fourth for a wide receiver. If we traded a fourth for somebody who can crash somebody's backfield, we traded a fourth for a wide receiver at the same age.
When Keenan Allen scores 2 touchdowns against the Packers, I want you to apologize to that man. There has not been one episode that you have not ruled the fact that Keenan Allen went for a fourth round pick. When Keenan scores 2 touchdowns against the Packers, I want you to remember this.
If he scores 2 touchdowns against the Packers, we got to win. We still have to win. If he scores 2 touchdowns against the Packers, he's golden in Chicago. Re-sign him, please. bring him back, man, because he might be the prince that was promised.